What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So, as I promised, today I'm gonna work on the E36 a little bit. Not a lot. I'm just gonna tear some stuff out. I actually got a little bit of a late start today, so I don't want to be out here super long. I'm a little under the weather. Throat's kind of scratchy. This weather's been weird, you know, Arkansas weather. But our goal for today is going to be getting some more interior bits. Oh God, that's awful. Tore out of the old turd E36. So as you can see, I've started. I've got like the door panels removed, but there's a couple of things like that I'm not sure what I'm going to do with. Most of the stuff is still just sitting here in the back. But what I plan on doing today is trying to get as much stuff that I need pulled out as I can. So stuff like this, which unfortunately is damaged right there pretty badly. I was hoping to reuse this, but stuff like that I can actually reuse and repurpose, I want to pull out, like the headliner and these pillar covers and things of that nature, so that I can actually get ready to, I guess you could say, wrap them. I have some cloth that I'm going to be ordering soon that'll be much improved to the way the car looks currently. Hoping to maybe unbolt these seats and potentially pull them out. I'm going to get the airbag and this cover out of there, and then, you know, stuff like the center console and probably the rest of the door panels, and, you know, just all the odds and ends that either I won't reuse, like the door panels, or stuff that's broken that I need to replace so I can catalog. So I'm gonna bring y'all along for the ride, because it's gonna be a ride. I can already guarantee you there's gonna be some stuff that I'm probably gonna break, because it is a 98, it's old, and plastic gets brittle, especially when it's been sitting outside in the sun. So let's see how that goes, and let's get started. All right, let's start off with something that seems fairly simple. I want to take the glove box and this airbag out. I'm actually going to be buying a delete kit. I need to see though if that delete kit has spots for these air vents, because if it doesn't, then, well, no air for the passenger, I guess. It'll just be air for the driver. But based on the way it looks like I've got one screw here, and there's a aftermarket little connector here for radio stuff. It looks like there's a screw in there, a screw in there, and hopefully that whole assembly comes out. I don't really see anything else attaching it, so if that's all that's holding this on, is like this right here is loose, so if that's all that's holding this on, we might be in good shape. There's also a light in there, so I'll probably have to pop that light out, but we will get that figured out. So I guess I'm going to start. And look at that, I was right. Alright, cool. So this whole assembly is not going to be needed, because I'm not going to be running air vents. I do need to unplug whatever this is. There we go. And just like that, that is all removed. I really don't see, it says there's an airbag. Unless this is the airbag, which is possible. So, changed my mind. I want to pull this radio, but I gotta figure out now how this radio comes out. I really don't care about it, so I can break it and it'll be fine, but it's the other stuff I'm worried about, like vents, which are crusty. Yeah. don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh, I broke it. Oh well. I really don't care about it that much, but you know, someone could probably use this. I guess I figured it out. There's a couple of tabs on either side. So radio, don't need that no more. I got the radio is good. Well, not good anymore. And I got all this wiring here that's sketchy. Which actually, I'm going to pull this now. And then this also goes to a sub. Pull that one. Pull these two out from in there. They're not needed anymore. They go up there somewhere, probably. Actually, you know what? I think I do need these. These are, these go to that fan switch. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep those. Just kind of tuck them up in here. Best part is I didn't really damage that too bad. Too bad. This stuff, all the radio stuff back in there. That one's broken. Damn. All right, so we're making good progress, sorta. I've got so much stuff in here. I got no room for my feet. Next, I'm gonna try to see how complicated this center console is going to be to pull, so I can get the bottom piece out, because I think this stuff is probably going to need to be replaced. So I can at least get this one out. Oh, that was easy. Okay, so that just slides in. I don't see anything holding that in. I don't know about the shift boot though. Crusty, as is everything in this car. Definitely would like to replace that. And the e-brake boot is actually a little goofed up on that too, so I'll probably replace that as well. See if I can't use this pry tool. Like I said, I'm not worried about damaging that. I just want it out. Try to stretch that a little bit. Well, that's a tight fit, I'll tell you what. Oh, there we go. They were holding that on with the zip tie. That's what that popping sound was. Alright, well, e-brake boot is off. And now this, not being held in by a lot. Gotta figure out where all the bolts are for it. I have a feeling. Well, that didn't go as planned. Like I said, I'm probably gonna break some things. Some brittle plastic. Well, unfortunately, guys, I thought that my GoPro was recording, but it actually had an error, and so you missed what I was saying, but I accidentally broke the rear portion of the center console. I grabbed on in the wrong place, you know how the deal goes. I'm gonna figure out how this comes off now. Okay. So, oh, sorry. That can lift, but I need to get the center console off. And there we go. Well, I've decided I was hoping to get more done today than I did. So my goal is going to be probably split this episode into multiple days, put all together, because really all I did was got the center console pulled, that pulled, and the radio pulled, and I was really hoping, like I said, to get more, like door panels and the back seat headrests and all that stuff pulled and drop the headliner down. But because I didn't, my plan is going to be to pick the camera up again, hopefully here in a couple of days, get some more of this done. As you can see, I'm gonna have to come out here with the shop vac. There is just all sorts of stuff, like seeds, coins, the audio wiring that's here. There's this harness here, jewel pods. Yeah, so this is not the end of the video, so if you want to stick around and see some more, like I said, there's still all the other stuff I gotta pull in. I'm gonna go ahead and start looking into ordering some of the center console stuff. I've got to figure out how to get this lid, the armrest section, off, because I'd like to get a new one. And it kind of looks like there may be a tab in there. I don't know, but for now I will update y'all in the next couple of days when I come back out here, and hopefully I'll be able to see some more carnage, but hopefully not too much carnage. Alright guys, so it is time for round 2 of senseless destruction. Not really, we actually have a reason behind it. It's been a couple weeks since I was able to come out here, on top of rain and all sorts of other stuff, but I'm hoping today to get the rest of the door panels out, which will be the other 3, get the headrests and the pillar trims, which I've already removed that one, get all that stuff out, and then hopefully get these seats unbolted and pulled out just for the time being, because my goal is to at least vacuum out all the junk, because there is a lot of it, and then I can come back another day and, you know, wipe off all the dust and stuff and start making plans on how I'm going to mount a plate here and here for, you know, the rear seat delete and stuff like that. So, and nothing to it but to get to it. So let's go. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is get everything that I pulled out last time actually out of the car, so I have somewhere to sit, because there is stuff everywhere. I mean, I've got center console, strut bar, well, most of the strut bar. What else we got? Cup holders for the center console, plus sticky penny. You know, just all sorts of stuff. You know, shifter boots and all the modules that 90s BMWs have that were in the dashboard. But I'm gonna get all that stuff taken out so that I can actually get in here and do some work, because last time I was out here it was a nightmare trying to wiggle my feet around. If I set my tools down, I didn't know where I put it, you know. So I'm gonna try to take all this stuff and set it in a pile over here so that I can actually get some work done. So let's do that first. Alright, so this is a little bit more workable. I mean, there's still quite a bit of stuff just laying around, but it's all small stuff. So I can actually, you know, get to some things and, you know, step around this stuff. But all I've got left back here is the halfway installed harness bar, which, you know, is fine because I'll probably undo the other side and pull it out, and then all this junk, just junk, you know, audio harnesses and stuff back here. I don't know what it goes to, but you know, that's for future me to worry about. So for now, I'm going to start removing this door panel and probably these seatbelt mechanisms too, because I got the top ones out. Well, no, I didn't. I forgot. This car's got the seatbelts in the middle. Never mind. I haven't even gotten the seatbelts out yet. But, yeah, we'll get to it. Alright, so now that we made some room, I'm going to pull all these cables through. I think there's only 2 of them from when they did the aftermarket audio stuff. That's our landlord driving by. But, I'm trying to get these cables out because I don't have any need for audio stuff in this car. Of course, now I say that, this cable, aha, there we go. Cable didn't want to come through, but so now we've got a mess of cables that are out of the way. So now I can take the seatbelt stays off the bottom, pull these little side panels and get those seatbelts out, because the door panels will be relatively easy. I just want to do some of the other stuff that, you know, I might miss. And then I can find, there's so many bolts and extra little tools and stuff that are not mine. I mean, they are now. There's also a toilet paper roll holder. Kind of gross, but yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I can get these door panels off, and then I'll work on getting this piece up here taken off and getting the C-pillar trims off. And once that stuff's done, I will probably attempt, keyword there's attempt, to take these seats out. The problem is, these are electric only seats, and the car obviously does not have a good battery, and I don't feel like trying to jumper wire it to the switch to make them work. So we're just gonna do our best. Wish me luck. So the door panel should be pretty easy. I got 2 screws here. This bezel comes off. Of course, I've already removed the covers. You gotta undo the lock cover, and then once I get these 2 screws out, I'm gonna try to get this out as well and remove it before I get into the door. Should just be able to pop all the pins and lift it up and off, and then go do the other side. So let me go get my tools and knock it out. Of course, being a BMW, most cars, you know, will use Phillips head or flathead screws. Of course, they're Torx bits because BMW, but we could take care of that. Now, unfortunately for me, I don't actually have my Torx bits here with me. All I have is the socket ones, which means I'm gonna have to get this in there on both of these because the door handle's in the way. Get an extension and then just ratchet them off versus using a screwdriver, because my dumbass forgot to grab the right bits for my screwdriver. This is just the life that I live. Like, oh yeah, you probably need that. You're working on the BMW today. Did I grab it? No. And hopefully these come out pretty easy because I don't want to have to fight with them. Oh yeah, we're good. one. And it's so funny to me how this car itself is really in pretty rough shape. Like, the seats are awful. The headliner is being held up by paper clips. It was all wrapped by a previous owner in some sort of way too thick cloth. It's missing one of the one of the sun visors. It's got the other one, but that one's, you know, tan colored. Then all the lights that go back here are tan colored. So it's like all these different little parts are wrong. But then you look at these rear door panels and they look practically mint. Like, they only broke some parts of the car, not all of it. Boom, just like that. We've got our window switch out, which I probably won't be reusing, but throw that out of the way. We got the door panel. And we got the foam padding that goes behind the door panel. Alright. You know, I got to thinking, I am probably gonna need this. Let's go ahead and plug that back in. I don't know how complicated these cars are electronically, as if I try to put aluminum door panels on, if they're gonna freak out. And I don't understand this either. What is this, BMW? Why is it a J-hook? Like, you couldn't just made it a fixed rod. Now it just wiggles around all over the place. Oh well. Learn something new about this car every time I work on it. It's just funny. And this just slots in there. Something like that. Yeah. Of course, everything's so brittle, but it just slides on like that. And the door handle still works, and it's all good. Keep my window stays just in case I need them, or if the top of the door panel stays, because I'm assuming these aluminum door panels will reuse all of these mounting points. My concern is, from what I've read, the company that I found that makes these said that they will not work with the one-touch window regulators. Now, they do make a set of them that's they're boxed, so they're actually the tall ones, but they only make them for the coupe. Now, obviously, I don't have a coupe, I have a sedan, so I'm gonna have to figure out if they'd be willing to make me a set of boxed in sedan panels. If not, I'm gonna have to probably get some of their panels and find someone who can help me box them in, because I'd like to keep the power windows. I know that's such a weird build. Like, it's like, oh, you're making a race car, but it's gonna have power seats. Well, not power seats, power windows and AC and heat, but no radio and blah, blah, blah. Some creature comforts. I don't need all of it, just a little bit. So I'm gonna figure that out. But as you can see, door panel, super easy to remove. Now let's move on to the next one. And boom, just like that. I've now got access to the fuel tank. Airbag harness is removed. I'm gonna leave that plugged in. I'm not sure what the car would do if it'll have an immobilizer type issue. Of course, I'm gonna try to not use the standard ignition. I'm gonna try to use something else. But now it needs a little vacuum, a little bit of a wipe down on some of it, but it makes it a lot easier to deal with this versus having, you know, chunks of stuff like that all over right here. It'll allow me to actually be able to get up in here and not worry about getting stabbed by, you know, a thumbtack like I found, or, you know, random screws or anything like that. So our next order of business is going to be to take that one out first, and then to take that out so that I can remove the headrests and then the seat belts, and then place that panel back up there so that it'll be finished off, because then I can actually drill and riv nut here and, you know, cut this stuff where I don't need it. All that business, you know, for when I do the rear seat delete. Because as far as I've seen, I have not seen a company that offers a rear seat delete for a sedan. If anybody knows of one, I'd much rather buy it than have to fabricate my own, because I'm not good at that stuff. Not yet, at least. But let's work on getting this stuff removed. And I guess I'll set up a time lapse, let you guys see me struggle a little bit more, but let's get to it. And boom, just like that, I've got this panel removed. The seat belts are completely out, as well as the garnish, which I'm gonna have to cut the seat belts to put the garnish back in, since I think it looks a little bit better. Seat belts are there, panels here, got the speaker wiring here. Now my problem is obviously this car's not gonna be running speakers. That's a long piece of cable that just, yeah. So I don't want to just cut the wires. I mean, I could, and then just, you know, wire cap the ends of them. But I really was ideally hoping to get them pulled out. But my problem is I'm seeing here is that there's this white wire, and the way BMW did this is weird. It loops up a couple times here, runs all the way down to here, then runs back up there. Like, why? I don't know. All I know is all the sound deadening right there. I put the two screws or bolts that were holding in the seatbelt retractors. I put them back in. I peeled a little bit of the tint, but I forgot this car had like factory tint, so there's still a little bit of a lip right there. And yeah, so I'm not gonna mess with this because this tint is god awful. And I don't feel like fighting with tint. So what I'm probably gonna do now is, now that I've got most everything off this back seat portion, I'm going to clean this panel up real quick and vacuum all the little bits of foam that fell off while I did this, and then wipe it down. And then I'll come back and I'll put this panel back in, and we'll do the back seats and wipe down the rear doors, and I pretty much have the rear of the car, aside from like the actual trunk, which is obviously still full of parts and stuff. I'll have the trunk done, because then I can put the trim panels back on, vacuum the carpet, and I'll come back at a later date with my actual carpet shampooer, and I'll clean these carpets, because there's a little bit of staining. Of course, that's from, like, you know, the size of the center console. You have a drink, it spills, it rolls. But I mean, everything else is pretty clean. The carpet's in good shape. And hopefully it'll get rid of a lot of that dusty smell that this car has on the inside. But let's go ahead and take care of that, and catch you guys once I've got that done, I guess, because no one wants to see me vacuuming and wiping stuff down. It's not fun. So, might have gotten a little carried away. Off camera, I took the seats out. I cleaned that panel up as best I could. It still looks gross, so I'm going to take it out again. But for now, for trying to get everything cleaned up in here, I've put it back and put the C-pillar trim back up there. And as you can see, this is what I was talking about. Like, there's just stuff everywhere. Obviously, some of this stuff is nuts that I've just taken off. Like these held in the parts for the electric motors. These dudes here held those in. And some of these are other bolts that I've taken out. Like, that's the back of the seat rail bolt. But a lot of this other stuff was just here. So now this will actually give me a chance to go and take the bolts out for the seatbelt retractors, which are trash because I cut the seatbelts because I don't care. And then I can get this door panel out. And then, in terms of stripping the car of pretty much everything, we're done. I mean, I'll put the trims back in here and collect all the bolts and, like I said, tools and stuff I find, collect all that stuff. But aside from that, I mean, there's nothing left. Shifter's already out because, you know, I have to drop the trans with it, but aside from that, it's empty. So I'm going to take these seatbelt retractors out and we'll move on. Well guys, it looks like Mother Nature actually decided to tell me when I was going to stop working on the car. Right after I filmed that clip where I said I was going to pull the retractors, it started to rain. So I had to rush and throw everything back in the car in a stupid ass pile, but for the most part, it's a good enough, you know, quitting spot anyways. Unfortunately, I wish I could actually start putting stuff back, but like I need to get a new one of those. I've got to clean up a lot of stuff still and, you know, make it easier for myself later on. However, because of the way that this situation's going with, you know, old clips breaking, like I pulled that C-pillar trim out and it's got 2 clips broken in it, and, you know, a couple other things. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and make a wanna-buy post in the E36 groups and see what I can get. But, you know, could be a lot worse of a situation. Golly, that bird is loud. Anyways, I figured I'd just update y'all. Seats are out, interior is completely stripped aside from one door panel, and I actually looked, it's only got 1 screw holding it anyway, so 1 screw out and it's ready to go. All the clips and everything else are already broken out of it. So until next time, y'all take it easy. This has been the first episode of the E36, which obviously it's a long process for this car because the interior's got to be done and it's got to have, you know, body work done there and new fenders and body work done on the roof where they bolted in a roof rack instead of using grip mounts. But regardless, hope y'all enjoyed all the destruction. I know this video is kind of all over the place and was filmed in 2 different parts, but hopefully in the next video for this car I'll actually be doing just a full deep clean of the inside, start putting stuff back and getting some cardboard and mapping out where I need to make panels and all that stuff. So that'll probably be the next video on this car, but I'm thinking the next video y'all will see will be doing a full front suspension refresh on the Camry. We've got all the parts for it, so that'll be the next thing you see. Probably get to that sometime next week. So until then, y'all take care, have a good one, and I'll catch you in the next one.